We begin with the fight against the coronavirus. The OMICRON variant is fueling concerns across the country, including right here in Southeast Texas.
Thousands of people rushed to testing sites before and after the holidays, and this comes as the CDC is updating its guidelines for isolation after a positive COVID test. Today, the agency reduced its recommendation from 10 days to 5, but only if you're not having symptoms and if you wear a mask for an additional 5 days. Tonight, we have team coverage on the testing frustrations and also the travel turmoil. We begin with our Roseanne Aragon live for us now at the medical center. So, Roseanne, what suggestions do doctors have for people who want or need to get tested?
Right. Doctors say it is all about timing. We know there has been an increase in demand for testing, and if you're trying to get an at-home test kit, good luck. But is waiting in line to get tested a day or two after your holiday party a waste of your time? Doctors say it probably is. Here's why.
COVID-19 testing, and more testing. But when is actually the best time to test? Houston Methodist Dr. Wesley Long says,
one, do you have any symptoms? And then two, when were you basically last exposed?
So let's say you had a party December 25th.
If you go to get tested the next morning or 2 days later, oftentimes that's too early and the test is likely to be negative. Even if you've been exposed and perhaps contracted COVID-19, the test won't be positive yet.
That's because he says it takes time for the virus to replicate enough to be detectable. So how long should you wait to get tested after the last exposure? If you have symptoms, test now. If not, 5 days.
If you're asymptomatic and you continue to be asymptomatic, you really need to wait until that 5 days has passed before you get tested.
Coincidentally, the CDC has just shortened its recommended quarantine for those exposed to COVID-19. For people unvaccinated or had their second dose more than 6 months ago without a booster, the CDC now recommends you quarantine for 5 days, followed by strict mask use for an additional 5 days. On the other hand, individuals who were exposed but had the booster do not need to quarantine, but should wear a mask for 10 days after exposure. As for those who test positive for COVID-19, the CDC says you should isolate for 5 days as well, followed by strict mask use for an additional 5 days. And for everyone, Dr. Long says,
now is the time to get the third shot if you're eligible.
All right, so essentially 5 days after exposure, you got to wait to get tested. 5 days of quarantine unless you have a booster, and 5 days of isolation if you test positive for COVID. That's a lot of information. For help or questions and resources, you can find that all on our website, clicktohouston.com. For now, reporting live from the Med Center, Roseanne Aragon, KPRC 2 News.